I'm Andrew, and I'm setting out to make better videos for diesel enthusiasts. Follow along as I review products, do how-tos, and share my personal trucks here on Just Diesels. Today, we are going to be talking about tires, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about the Nitto Ridge Grappler. Now, I've run a lot of different tires on a lot of different vehicles, and that's given me some good experience. I've also been through 5 sets of these Nitto Ridge Grapplers, and so I felt like it was about time that I actually sat down and did a proper review of this hybrid tire. Now, if you aren't familiar, the hybrid tire market is a new market that kind of popped up a few years ago that basically blends the quietness and road manners of an all-terrain with the traction and capability of a mud terrain. And that tire market really kind of was bred out of how capable modern vehicles are, right? My truck is, even though it's not that modern, still very capable of long highway cruises, which is exactly what I do with it, towing, and off-road driving. And you gotta have a tire that can do all of that stuff. So a mud terrain would do really nice off-road, but it's gonna be loud, obnoxious on the street. A all-terrain is gonna do really nice in the street, but it's not gonna be quite as aggressive as I need for the off-road capability that this truck has. So thus the hybrid tires that popped out, because they're able to do everything and do it well. But not all hybrid tires are created equal. So before I get into the review of the tire and what my personal thoughts are, let's get some technical information out of the way. So what makes a tire is 3 main components, right? You have your actual casing of the tire, you have your tread pattern, and you have your side wall. Working from the tread pattern out, the Nitto Ridge Grapplers are defined by a zigzag tread pattern design, and the tread area is actually a 2-ply steel, 3-ply polyester, and 2-ply nylon construction. That's extremely durable. The other thing that makes these treads really cool is not just how they look, but how well they've been designed acoustically. Nitto did a lot of research, time, and R&D into making sure that the actual tread lug design, both in orientation and the actual design itself, was acoustically as quiet as possible. The other thing to point out in the actual treads themselves is the amount of siping. Each one of these tread blocks is actually smaller than most of the hybrid tires that I've seen out there, like the Toyo RT, and there's a lot of siping in each one of these lugs. What that does is helps the lugs conform to hard packed terrain, and it also helps evacuate water in times that you're driving in rain, snow, ice, things like that, again, to aid in traction. Moving to the sidewall of the tire, you'll notice that the actual tread blocks are pretty large on these tires. That's gonna look cool, but it's also gonna serve a key protective function on these tires. The other thing that those tread lugs are doing is that they're staggered. So having a staggered tread lug design is key to having lateral traction on those tires. So times that you're crawling up rocks, things like that, deep ruts, those lateral lugs are really what's gonna dig in and move you forward to gain the traction that you need. Now that sidewall itself is a 2 sidewall pattern with a 3 polyester ply. Now those 2 sidewall patterns are actually really nice if you're trying to customize the look of your tire. They have one that's more aggressive, one that's less aggressive. On pretty much all my trucks, I have the more aggressive side out because it's gonna look really nice. Now finally, the last part that makes these tires kind of stand out from the competition is the load ratings. They have everything from E to F load range ratings for these diesel trucks, which is key if you're trying to work the truck, tow, anything like that. These tires have more than enough capability. The particular ones shown in this video are going to be the E load range tires, which have around a 3,800 pound load rating, depending on the exact size that you're looking at. But that's going to be more than enough to support anything I would tow with this truck or haul in the bed. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about what I actually think about these tires. I have gone through 5 sets of Nitto Ridge Grapplers on 4 different trucks. So that's a pretty dang good sample size to see how these tires stack up. I've also driven with Toyo RTs, Toyo MTs, BF Goodrich all-terrains, a ton of different options and tires to really compare these against in the real world. These tires have by far been a standout in a couple of key areas. One would be traction. the next would be tread life, and the third would be noise. And I think noise is actually one of the biggest things that drew me to this tire initially, was that I heard rumors that these tires were a lot quieter than the Toyo RTs that I had on my truck. You'll notice if you go on my channel, I actually did a head-to-head video with the Toyo RT and Nitto Ridge Grappler. That's also worth looking at if you're cross-shopping other hybrid tires. Switching back and forth between Ridge Grapplers and Toyo RTs on the same truck, same size, same everything, is really a great way to show how much quieter these tires are. And there's really no way I could record that other than just telling you when I'm driving, they are way quieter. The other thing to consider is that as these tires get older, they're gonna get louder, but the Ridge Grapplers are still gonna stay quieter than pretty much every other hybrid tire, and they're really gonna stay more in that all-terrain level of quietness, which is pretty impressive given how aggressive these tires are. Speaking of aggression, these tires have gotten me through pretty much anything I have tried to conquer. Mud, snow, ice, sand, hard pack rocks, hard pack dirt, and thousands of miles of street driving have been really impressive on these tires. And I think that they do a really good job of balancing all those different things. When you think about it, it's kind of hard for a tire to last 50, 60,000 miles and still be soft enough to hook up on rocks and hard pack and things like that. But the siping, the tread pattern, all of that stuff has been key in making these tires really perform well on my truck. One of the key areas where I noticed that these kind of excelled over like the all-terrains that I had, so previously I had Nitto Tire Grappler G2s, was for example like backing up with my trailer. That's a key area where you have no weight in the back of the truck essentially. It's basically front wheel drive with no weight, and it's really hard. I would always have to put my truck in 4-wheel drive with the Tire Grappler G2s. With the Ridge Grapplers, I can cruise at the exact same grade to park my trailer without actually having to engage 4-wheel drive. So that was really nice, and that's a key area where you really notice the difference. I've also been really impressed with tread life on these tires. Over a bunch of different trucks, a bunch of different time spans, these tires have performed really, really well and held up exceptionally well. In this video, the tires that you're seeing on the 2nd gen maybe have 1,000 miles, but on my 3rd gen, the Ridge Grapplers in there have probably 10,000 miles now, and they look like brand new. And that's 10,000 miles of highway driving, off-road, going on rocks, going through sand, through the desert. If you've ever been in the California deserts, you know they are full of sharp, jagged rocks that love to eat up your tires. And so I'm really impressed with how well these things have held up against all of that. Essentially, if I had to kind of pick my perfect tire, it would really be these, right? It's something that's quiet on the road, it lasts for a long time, it has really nice traction, and it has a cool, aggressive look on the truck, nice squared out profile. These tires pretty much check all those boxes better than anything else. One final area that I want to touch on, and it's a little bit tricky to compare, but I do feel like these tires actually balance fuel economy quite well. They're not quite as good as an all-terrain, right, where that's going to have the least tread resistance possible, or frictional resistance when rotating on the road, but they're definitely a lot better than a true MT tire. So I feel like they do strike a nice balance between aggression and still maintaining fuel economy for practical daily driving, long road trips, things like that. I've had a lot of tires on my different trucks. I've had a lot of different wheels on different trucks. And overall, I have to say, after trying pretty much everything on the market, I really think these Ridge Grapplers stand out from the crowd. They aren't the cheapest tire, but like everything else, you really do get what you pay for. I've been very happy with these on all of my trucks, and I think I'll pretty much continue to use them until something else better comes out. But so far, I have been really, really impressed. With these, I have absolutely no problems with grip, even running full highway pressure. So when I air these things down, they are absolutely unstoppable. And that's an awesome thing to have when I'm out in the middle of nowhere in the desert or something like that, and I need to know that I can get out of a situation without any issues. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video helps you guys out if you're trying to make a decision on tires. I know tires are a very, very expensive purchase to make, so you wanna make sure that what you're getting is good. I can honestly tell you that I have run a ton of different tires, and these have by far been my absolute best. So take my word for it. I've tried everything out there, and I think these are one of the best tires on the market. If you guys have any questions about these tires or anything else, please let me know. Always doing video reviews. Pretty much every week I'm coming out with new content. So if you have an idea for a video or something you want to see, comment it down below. Happy to make it happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video.